All right, so we're going to get started. So today I want to talk to you about 10 ways to leverage AI in your business with walkthrough examples. So we use AI a lot, and it's a lot more, there's a lot more use cases for small businesses than we even realized. And the thing is that there's so many tools out there, it can be overload. So my objective today is to introduce you to 10 ways that you can be leveraging AI in your business. And I'm going to actually open up 7 of the 10 tools because we are limited with time and show you exactly what we're doing with those tools. So it's an opportunity for you to see in real time how these tools are being leveraged, how they're being used, and how they're actually helping to grow the business of moving forward small business, but also some of our clients, because we do have clients, we have members, we have an online community, and we teach this stuff. So we're not able to necessarily go deep on every tool, but this is meant to give you an idea of what is possible. So feel free to ask questions as we go through. And I see we got Samuel from France, so welcome Samuel as well. So let's get started. So first of all, let me just start off by making sure you guys know who I am and why I'm qualified. My name is Jimmy Newsom. I'm known as the Impact Influencer. I'm the founder of Moving Forward Small Business. I also contribute to Entrepreneur. I do programming and training all over the world, speaking all over the world, and my primary focus is small businesses, supporting them. At Moving Forward Small Business, our vision is to be the #1 strategic support system for small businesses globally, and our mission is to help 1 million small businesses succeed by leveraging innovation, technology, and strategy. All right. So, we're heavily invested in the small business community, and I still consider our organization a small business. We follow the guidelines of the Small Business Administration, where it says a small business is actually 1,500 people or less, employees, or $36 million in revenue or less, and depending on the industries that fluctuates. So again, you fit the bill if you happen to be under those numbers. So what are we going to focus on today? Today we're going to talk about an introduction to AI. Then we're going to get into the 10 ways of leveraging AI, which is basically the crux of everything we're going to focus on today. And then we're going to look at some real world examples, again, meaning I'm going to open up my tools and show you. So all the data you're seeing is real data, either from us or someone we work with that we have permission from. We're going to talk about some implementation strategies. And of course, the software demo are the real world examples that we're going to show you. And again, if you have questions or comments, feel free. Now, you don't have to worry too much about taking notes or anything like that. You can be in the moment because you will get the replay link with the replay and my deck. So everything I'm showing you here, you can follow up on later and continue your growth process when it comes to using AI. All right, so let's start with an introduction. So artificial intelligence, AI, refers to the simulation of human intelligence processed by machines, especially computer systems. These processes include learning, reasoning, and self-correction, okay? And it also helps you streamline your operations better as a helper. It enhances your decision-making, and it definitely gives you a cost-effective solution to getting things done. Especially the smaller your team, the more it can be contributed towards growth strategies. And even for larger teams as well, it increases that efficiency. And what I really want to focus in on here, especially for smaller businesses, number 2, enhanced decision making. Because at the end of the day, especially I'm a marketer by heart, so we have to make better decisions, and we have to leverage our resources better because we have less of both to deal with. So I don't make any decisions with my gut, or I make very few. Everything to me is data driven. What does the data tell us? Being able to read the data, understand the data, and sometimes that can be a difficult thing to do. But because of AI, now it's easy. You just have to know what questions to ask when it comes to analyzing the data and then determining what do I do from there. Because if something's working, why not double down on it? If something is not working, there's an opportunity for you to go, all right, we need to abandon this. We still keep the goal, the objective, but the road that we're taking is not working. We need a new road. We need a new path. Okay. So these are the ways that AI can help you in your business overall. So that's enough of that. Now we're just going to get into the actual tools themselves. And so here are the 10 ways that you can leverage AI. And keep in mind, there's a lot more. And I whittled it down to the 10 that I thought would be best for you as a small business so you can get started either quickly or you can add on to your existing tech stack. And tech stack meaning, what are the tools that you're using to make sure that you maintain a strong online digital presence. So that's your tech stack. Okay. So number 1, customer segmentation. Leveraging AI for customer segmentation helps small businesses understand customer behavior and preferences by analyzing patterns and trends from data. And so an implementation strategy for you is to use AI-driven analytic tools to gather and analyze the data from various touch points. So those touch points can be your Google Analytics data, your Google Search Console data, your CRM data, your email marketing data. Every one of these tools you may be using in your business, your social media has data. If you can analyze that data, pull that data into somewhere central, there's a lot that can be learned. And then with the advancement of technology, the technology itself can formulate that data and give you an output. Okay, so it can segment that data into customers and based on their purchasing behaviors, their demographics, their engagements. It allows you to personalize marketing messages to them. So the first tool I'm going to introduce you to is Delve.ai. And this is one of my favorite tools. I have quite a few favorite tools, but this is definitely one of them. And this tool takes what we call historical data. Historical data is data that you have from the past, and the data like that is like your Google Analytics. Everybody here should have Google Analytics connected to their websites, and that data is being collected for however long you've had that account set up for your website. That's historical data. Okay, so this particular tool takes that data and creates a lot. This is what we call predictive analytics. So if we go into the tool itself, as you can see, I've connected my Google Analytics and I've also connected Google Search Console. All right. And it also, I don't use Slack. We use another platform. But if I had Slack, I could use that as well. And that can give me what we call sentiment data. Now, what happens is now that it pulled my data in and it analyzed all the traffic that's been going to my website for the history of how long this account has been. And I think this website has been live for maybe 3.5 years. Okay. So that's a lot of data. All right. It's able to create actual personas, representations of the people that are visiting my site and up to today. So it created them in 4 buckets. So the first one is what we call passive browsers. The second ones are bouncers. The third ones are multi-goal converters. And then we have single goal converters. So again, what does this data mean? So again, it's taking the data that has come to my site. So what happens is this person here, she represents 60% of our traffic. She's a passive browser. All right. I can see that the bounce rate is 7%. That means that this is really good because 93% of the people in this category actually stay on the page wherever they entered, and they are on for an average of 4 minutes and 20 seconds, and they have at least one session. Okay. So I want to know more. So say when it says passive browser, that means she's not converting. She's not doing what I would love her to do, which means click on something. So if I click on persona details, I can see a lot more about her. I can see that she's a Gen Zer. I can see her age. I can see what her responsibilities are, who she reports to, the job to be done, the factors that influence her purchasing decisions, the roles of the decision-making process, and what perceived barriers might stop her from interacting with my organization. Then I scroll down, I can see what is her level of communication. What does she prefer as a communication channel? She prefers social media. So if I'm not on social media, then I'm losing out on reaching out to people like Sarah. Okay, I can see that she likes chat. So if I don't have a chat bot on my website, I'm losing the opportunity to convert her. Okay, now there's two ways of looking at chatbots. We're going to get to chatbot in a second, but you might have a chatbot that is site wide. That means it's the same chatbot for the entire site. But if you really want to get fancy, you might have specific chatbots for specific pages, specific high traffic pages, specific service pages. So the conversation is really geared towards that particular service, which can increase the conversion rate. And she also likes email. So I want to try to get this young lady on my email. I can see the type of content she likes to deal with. She likes how-to content, case studies, blog posts, questions, and contests. So if I'm not doing any of these, I'm not setting myself up to really engage this young lady. If I want more of her, then I need to do more of this. I can see what her interests are. I can see what device she uses. I can see how she likes to interact. Her first interaction is organic search. So if my website is not optimized for organic search, I'm again missing out on the opportunity. I can see that she likes to be contacted on Wednesday, midday around noon. Here are some influential sources. So you can see all the data I got just from my analytics in my Google Search Console. I didn't give this tool any other information other than those resources, and it created that. If I come back out of here, I can look at a one goal converter. So let's say, this one goal converter, the bounce rate is 3. So they're highly engaged. They're on the website for 3 minutes and they either click on something, they sign up. Most of you, if you went to my website, you may have signed up on Eventbrite. But if anybody went to my website and you converted, well, you're a converter. So if I come here and you can see that only 0.14% of my traffic is one goal converters. So I want to increase the amount of Carlys that come to my site. So I want to understand Carly, her profile, responsibilities reports, where she works, her preferred communication channel, the brand she likes. She loves Apple, the type of content she consumes, and so forth. So I think you get the idea of this is AI. And again, as you can see here to the right, there are a lot of other things that we can look at. We can look at the competitors. We can look at industry. So I have leads coming to my site regularly. So if I click on leads, the tool is automatically classifying these leads as business clients, as service providers, as potential partners or competitors, government, and educational institutions. Okay. And then if I click on each one, I can see that they were in research phase. I can see what pages they went to. I can see how big the organization is. Emerson Electric Company out of Asia Pacific is 10,000 employees. So now I might want to optimize the page that they're on, which is the SWOT analysis example page, to address businesses of that size. To go, if you're a business of 10,000 employees or more and you're interested in having a SWOT analysis done, so I can customize the call to action to be relevant, because a lot of the businesses that are on this page happen to be that size. And the funny thing is I don't cater to businesses that size, but for some reason they're finding us because of the topics that we're writing about, some of the topics that are relevant to them. So again, if I didn't have this information, I wouldn't know the opportunity, because these could be very big contracts for us. So the question is, who's visiting your site? How are you able to analyze your data to see what you might be missing? Okay, so that's one. So let's come back out. Let's keep going. And so now let's get into chatbots. Okay, so this is number 2 of 10 ways. Enhance customer interaction by using chatbots to provide instant access, 24/7 support, answering common queries, and directing complex issues to human agents. Okay, so an implementation strategy around that is to integrate a chatbot platform compatible with your website and your social media channels. Train the chatbot on frequently asked questions and common customer interactions to engage accurate responses, and to continuously monitor and update the chatbot's knowledge base based on customer feedback and emerging trends. So key things here is chatbot compatibility, training it on frequently asked questions, and continuously monitoring it and creating a knowledge base. The knowledge base comes from the content that is on your site, or depending on the type of chatbot you decide to use, you can actually upload documents about the company, and it can use that to help feed the people. So there are many different chatbots. I'm going to demo Chatling. So this is the tool. So right now we use HubSpot. I'm a HubSpotter, so we have the HubSpot chatbot, but it is not AI based. It's not an AI based chatbot. So we're now considering replacing it with Chatling. Now I believe that HubSpot, for those who may know HubSpot, they're a CRM based platform, but they have marketing potential, sales potential, and all this stuff. And I think they're adding at some point an AI component, but this Chatling is just, I tried it and I loved it. So let's go over to Chatling. So I created a chatbot over here on Chatling, and here are the things you can do. You can build the chatbot. You can add data sources to train the chatbot. You can customize the chatbot wizard, and then you embed it on your site. And this is where you might embed it site-wide, so it's on every page. Or you might say, only put this particular chatbot on all my sales pages. Only put this particular chatbot on my blog articles. Put this particular chatbot on this page or that page, or a very specific campaign you might be running around some particular product or service. Okay. And so you're able to come in, you can build it. And again, I'm just going to bounce around a little bit just to show you. So you end up building it with nodes. Okay. And then you can publish it. But what I want to do is I want to come back and show you, well, how do we get the data in? Okay. And so it starts with the knowledge base. So remember I mentioned knowledge base. So what you end up doing is you end up dropping in your URL of your website, and it'll go through and scan your pages. And this is a free plan I'm on, so I'm limited to the amount of pages that it scans. So if I filter, I just want to see the pages that processed here. And these are all the pages that have been processed. And if I don't like a specific page, I can delete that page and have it process another one. So here is the key here. It's now going to leverage these pages to now answer questions for people asking questions in your chatbot. Do you have this? Do you have that? You know, how do I get to here? How do I do that? And now it has the information to answer it on your behalf. Okay. If you click on new data source, you can upload things. You can upload a sitemap. You can upload a list of URLs that you want it to use. You know, and this again, if you want to make it specific to a page or a category of blog articles or what have you, you can upload documents. So again, if you have Word docs, you have presentations, you can upload it here, and then it references that specifically for that chatbot. So you can build more than one chatbot. Okay. And then you work on the appearance of it. So you can customize it. And then, you know, I'm the Moving Forward Small Business Support Bot. How can I help you today? And if I type in something, it should be able to answer it. So if I come out of here, I'm just going to show you real quick the conversation. So they've changed it. So I have to use post stuff. So here was a conversation I had with the chatbot as I was testing it. It said, I asked it, what programs do you have for small businesses and entrepreneurs? And it went in and found all my programs and listed it for him and linked to it. So again, I'm sleeping, it's 2:30 in the morning, and someone wants to know about programming. It's doing all the work for me. I can ask it specific questions. How do I sign into the community? You know, so it gives me all of the information on how to sign into a community. Here's another one. What are your upcoming events? And then it gets me linked to all the events categories that I have so they can find the event that they want. Again, so this is, and the funny thing is, I recently, I get a lot of people chatting on our website, and for some reason I kept getting someone asking me about a specific topic that I wrote about, but they're being specific about, well, how do you do that? And that's not what we really do, you know. But I realized if I had the chatbot could actually answer the question by referencing the article to help them figure out, you know, how do I, you know, determine what the weaknesses is in my business based on this article around SWOT analysis. So we're going to initiate that to be even more helpful to people that just want an answer, but I don't need to necessarily be the one to give them that answer. So I hope, are you guys finding this interesting? Are you having any aha moments? I'm going to keep going. Let me know how you're doing in the chat. Next one is predictive analytics. Now, this one's going to be really exciting for everybody out here. Leveraging predictive analytics enables small businesses to anticipate future trends and customer behaviors, enhancing decision-making and strategic planning. Okay, so the implementation strategy around that is to collect and analyze historical data to identify patterns and trends relevant to your business. 2, to use machine learning models to predict future customer behaviors and market shifts. And integrate predictive insights into business processes to optimize marketing, inventory, and resource allocation. Now, I showed you Delve. Now, Delve can do this because it is a predictive analytics tool, but I'm going to show you another tool as well. So Drea says, very interesting so far. Joseph says, data analysis, customer data analysis, website data analysis, personal-based marketing platform. Yep, Delve.ai. Like I said, I love that tool. But I'm going to introduce you to another tool. That tool is called Awesome. Okay? So Awesome it does deep research. It does SWOT analysis. It does a lot of different things. So let me go to Awesome. And so this is it. So Awesome is a bit expensive. It's about $150 a month, but it comes with a 7-day free trial. And in the 7 days, you can actually just, if you needed to, you can just create that free account for 7 days and then upload either a product or your website so it can analyze it in an AI fashion and give you back some incredible information you can use to understand your target audience, to understand the market you're in, to understand your unique selling proposition. So I'm going to open up one. This one here is for our strategic alignment and execution membership. So if I click on and open this up, let me show you just by dropping in a URL of my business, what I was able to pull out, what was given to me that we're now using to build out our marketing plan between now and the end of the year, so we can be very specific about what the value that we need to provide. So this should start to pop up here in a second. Let's give it a minute. Here we go. So it started off by giving us a SWOT analysis, which is our strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. This should open up here. Bear with me for a second. There we go. So it showed me, elevate your strategy by recognizing and maximizing internal advantages in the strength section of your SWOT analysis. So what are the things that make us strong as an organization? And again, it took into account our industry along with the content that's on our site. And it gave me some incredible things that we can use for strengths. Then it told us what our potential weaknesses are and our opportunities and threats. Over here, if I come over here to the right, then it gave us a market overview about the market. It told us what market we're in, but then it told us about, what are the defining features for moving forward small business? What are the key trends for the industry? What are the challenges for the industry? It gave us the market size and growth. It gave us decoding consumer behaviors. And think about all the stuff I've been talking about up to this point, and we can keep going. Let's look at the context and offerings. It gave us a business analysis. And then it created 3 customer segments. Now, again, this is similar to the 4 personas that Dell created, but it is different in regards to that was based on actual data. And this here is based on, I don't want to say the theory, but the structure of the industry that you happen to be in. So it said Claris 30 to 40. It gave me her profession. It gave me her psychographics and her psychotypes. Okay. And then it broke down, what does psychographics mean? What does the 4 psychographics that it gave me, what does it mean? Again, this helps you control the language so you can attract more people like this Sarah. Okay. And it gave me the expanded. I am confident and assertive, a natural leader, a strategic and analytical, which is 100% on point in regards to the people that we want to be in our community. We want them to be strategic and analytical, or they want, or that they strive to be strategic and analytical, and we can provide that for them. we can come in here and see what their work habits are. We can see their likes, their dislikes. And again, this is how you can modify your products and services to be more relevant to the people that you're trying to attract in the industry that you happen to be in. Okay. A day in the life of, visualize the daily routines of your persona, gaining insight into their challenges and opportunities for engagement in relationship to your products or services. Okay. And it goes on. Like I said, I can go on forever. There's forward planning. If you happen to be looking for investments for your organization, it creates all of that. And then it also creates something I think that most people need, and it's your KPIs. How do you measure success? So it does it for marketing. Here are your marketing. Here's your marketing objective, and here are the KPIs. And here's what you need to do to get those KPIs. You got it for sales, products, engineering, finance, HR, design, all from a single URL that you dropped in to the thing. And I'll tell you, this thing is so spot on. I've dropped it in for 3 of the companies that I am a part of. And it's just going to help us finish those marketing plans so much faster and get everybody on board and headed in the right direction. That's leveraging AI. Okay, so let's keep going. The next one is content creation and curation. And this is where most people are probably leveraging AI the most. Content creation, blog articles, social media posts, things like that. So, identify your audience, research and define your target audience to tailor content that meets their needs, create valuable content, and promote and distribute it. So we use 2 tools here. So we actually do not use ChatGPT. We use, I think I went backwards. We use a tool called ScaleNut, and we use a second tool called AnyWord. But they both have very specific needs. ScaleNut is a tool we write when we want to rank content, because it is built around SEO. And AnyWord is for everything else we write. Okay? So if I come over here, I'm going to quickly, I took the liberty of creating, I'm going to do that. So I'm going to show you how fast you can write an article that has the ability to rank for you. And it's not, a single article won't help you rank unless you've got a strong domain already. You have to do what is called cluster strategy, content clusters. And we do content clusters constantly, and they're moving. So Ilford says I missed point 3. Point 3 was, point 3 is our content. Is that what you mean, Joseph? Just let me know. But I'm going to write an article. Somebody give me a topic in the chat. An article that you would like to write. And I'm going to show you how fast we're going to make this happen. All right. Let's see. Referrals. Okay, so here we go. Let's do referrals. Now, what you want to do, and so Ian said lifestyle hacks with AI. Now, what I would do is I would probably do lifestyle hacks, and then when I do the description, I'll bring in AI as part of that, or AI hacks. Okay, so let's do referrals, and I'm assuming referrals, Drea, for small business. Tell me what you mean in relationship to referrals. And let's see. Yep, for small business. So I'm going to say referrals, and I'm going to say secondary keyword is small business. And then I can choose, I want the top 10, of course, and I could choose the country. And I can go as I can go all the way down to the city. Okay? So I'm going to say United States. And then I'm going to say create. So right now it's going to start to create this. And while it's doing this, I'm going to come over here and show you AnyWord. So AnyWord is what I use for everything else. And as you can see, I have clients on this. So if you click here, these are clients. I mean, I even have entrepreneur in here. Okay. But I have different clients. I have different projects. I have programs that we write for, so I can keep it all organized. Okay. And within them, I might have, so you're looking at the Moving Forward Small Business. So I have events, programs, memberships, webinars, blog CTAs, business plan bootcamp, Gumroad, the program we're on, static pages, service pages. So I classify everything. But if I wanted to create something new, I can click on blank, and then actually let me back up out of here. And so I use this tool for pretty much everything. So if I come over here and say show all, I can see I could do the blog, Instagram, writing ops. I can go over here to the right and determine if I want to build campaigns. They now have multi-prompt campaign strategies. Okay, ads, emails. They just recently introduced being able to create images, and this is by far, I think, one of the best image generators I've ever seen. Okay, but these are all the prompts, so I can come in here and let's just use they have one prompt I use all the time, which is like ChatGPT. It's the right prompt, so it's pretty generic. So I can come over here and say, I always say please, just in case there's an AI uprising and I have to remind them that I always said please to them. Please create a press release for me for my upcoming live event. I'm gonna say my upcoming masterclass this month, and I'm gonna say reference this URL, and then I'm going to go find the URL. So I'm going to come over here, and I am going to, this is a masterclass, so I'm going to copy that URL, and I'm going to drop that in here. And here's the thing. So I can choose the tone of voice. So again, when people go, well, AI content is impersonal, that is no longer a thing. I can change the tone of the voice to make it an advisor, motivator, entertainer, empathetic, trend-setting, innovator, or educator. So I'm going to say innovator because I'm using innovative training and technology. And it's going to analyze the talking points. But it also now figures out different personas that I might want to target. So I'm going to target Tony, the business owner, because it's telling me what his pain points are. Finding great resources to grow. So I'm going to choose Tony as the focus. And then I can choose my brand voice because I've got different brand voices set up in this tool. And then I could choose how many different variations I want, so I can choose the one I like the best. So let's go ahead and generate. So while that's generating, let's go back over the scale nut. So now this is ready to write. So I click on ready to write. And so now it's going to figure out what it will reference to help create this article for me. And this is where I'll get very specific. Please create an article about referrals for small businesses. And I always it says small businesses, but if I didn't have small businesses in there, I would say gear it towards small business owners and entrepreneurs. So I always want to target somebody, so that helps to make sure that the content is relevant to those specific people. Okay, and then I checked enable anti-AI detection, and then it immediately made it a listicle because it said based on what you're asking, we think it would be best as a listicle. And then I can figure out who I want to reference. So I could choose, I look for high SEO scores from who they're trying to reference. So I update that. And again, I'm moving pretty fast, ladies and gentlemen, because you can rewatch this later. But also, this is really meant to just go through some of the tools. Okay, I choose the image. I usually don't use these images because they don't come out very well. So I usually use Canva Pro, and I get my images from there. And then the tone of voice, I could choose the main site of our company. We have different ones, but I'll keep it at default. And now it's going to create a title. And while that's doing that, let's come over here. And there's our press release. It pulled in everything. And then I might go, all right, I just got to add a couple I got to add a couple of not testimonials, but quotes. So I'll add quotes in on my end. So I'll usually come in and I'll clean it up. It gave me 3 variations. I read through the one I like the best. Then I push it over from list to document. And then I go in and start cleaning it up. H2s and H3s. So I can clean it all the way up. Then I usually drop it into a Word document, run it through Grammarly, and then build out my linking strategy. And then I'll either upload it to my website and then also push it out to the networks because it's a press release. Okay, so that's part of my workflow. I come back over here to ScaleNut, 10 proven strategies to generate more referrals. Boom, I like that. I like numbers. So let's go with that. Let's create the outline. So now it's going to build my outline for me. And again, this is different tools. The first one just created something, but I don't know how well it will perform in SEO. It just helped me get a job done. The other one is I'm writing specifically because I need it to rank so I can get that organic traffic. So it built out my outline here so I can read through it. If I want to add stuff, I can add more stuff to it. I can also add a call to action. What do I want them to do after they read it? I want them to sign up for a membership. So I'm going to click sign up and I'm going to click generate content. Now it's generating the content. Okay. So we're going to come back to that. Let's go back in here and let's go to our next one. So we're going to talk about financial planning. So AI tools for financial forecasting and budgeting enable small businesses to predict future financial performances and manage budgets with greater accuracy and efficiency. And so some of the things they could do, as an implementation strategy is data integration. Ensure all relevant financial data is integrated into the AI tool for comprehensive analysis. So again, if you're using AI to help you with your finances, it needs to be able to connect to if you're using FreshBooks or you're using Xero, or you're using QuickBooks, or even if you're old school and you're using Excel sheets. It needs to be able to integrate to that so it can pull that stuff in. You don't have to manually figure out what to do with it. Customization. Tailor the AI tool to fit the unique financial needs and goals of your business. And then training. Provide adequate training for staff to effectively utilize the AI tool and interpret its output. And this is where I see a lot of businesses fall short. They invest in these tools, but they never take the time to fully learn them. The tools are there to give you the competitive advantage. So if you're going to invest in a tool, learn everything you can about that tool, master that tool, and then that tool now becomes second nature in the way that you leverage it in order to get things done more efficiently. Okay? And the tool I'm going to focus on this time is a tool called UpMetrics. Okay? And there are many different tools you can use. This one is specifically for business planning, which would have a lot to do with your finances as far as forecasting. And then if you're pulling in your data from, say, if you're using QuickBooks, it can match it against your real data to determine if how accurate you are and help you stay focused on, your financial goals. So if I come over here, let's just take a quick look at ScaleNut. All right, so it wrote the article. I can read through it. I can make changes. I can update different parts of the article itself. And then if I like it, I push it over to the export editor for final cleanup. And watch over here to the right. It's going to give me, it says the average score for this to be on page 1 is 45 and the top score is 80. I'm at 67. It said it found an issue with my key terms. Again, I'm not going to go too deep into this because this is an SEO thing. And again, I just want to show you what's possible. But the AI tool is able to go in there and fix it. So I can figure out, well, what's wrong here. Again, the more I can fix, the better I can make this article rank for me for the things I'm ranking. So it said, look, you need to add the word of mouth. And it's going, you can add it here. Or I can look at the other place. So it's saying I have 25 keywords. I have 25 key usage terms. He goes, but you need 38. So I'm going to go, okay, I'm going to accept that one. I'm going to accept that one. I'm going to accept that one. And you're going to notice this number is going to start going up. I'm going to accept that one. Accept that. Oh, something's going on here. There we go. I want to get that number to 38. And if I run out of them, I'm at 33. I resume editing. I just go back in. And it'll give me more until I get to 38. And you saw that number went up to 81. From 76, I believe it was. And that's how I optimize. That's just the first stage of optimization. And it tells me my meta tags are good, my URLs are good. And my objective is once this is done, I copy this over. And so I've got myself a 2,300 word article. they say the suggested amount of words is 24. So I can just add a little bit more content and see that SEO score jump, and then I check my readability. So again, we have a whole training program on each one of these that we're showing you. So let's go back in. All right, so now we're at UpMetrics. So we actually just started working with this company, UpMetrics. And so we're doing a business plan for a new product, for a new company we're about to start. It's a SaaS company. So I saved this section because we're at the point where we've added a lot of the stuff, and now we need to add revenue streams, okay? And I don't really know what all the revenue streams are I want to create for this, okay? So I can use, they have this whole business plan, this whole program they have is AI fortified. So I'm going to say forecast with AI. So I'm going to click on that, and it says, tell us about the business. So it's going to be a strategy, a business strategy, actually, SaaS tool. So that's the tool we're creating. So I'm going to say now suggest streams. So now it's using AI and it's going, you need to have monthly subscriptions, annual, and freemium. So I'm going to check them all. You're going to do some consulting with one-on-ones, groups, and webinars. You're going to have some add-on features. So I'm just checking everything. And the funny thing is, this is the first time I'm doing this. So I've never used this particular feature before. So you're learning at the same time that I'm learning. So it's creating the forecast for me. So it says complete forecast. So let me see what that means. So this is where I can create monthly subscriptions, choose how to enter the income. I'm going to say unit sales. I'm going to say constant amount. And I can say percentage change over time. So let me see, constant amount. So let's just say it's 49 a month. And the percentage change will be 1%. What price will you charge for each unit? I think I screwed that up a little bit. I'm sorry, how many units will you sell? So I like to sell 500 units a month, and at $49 per unit. Sales tax, yes. And how often when you pay sales tax, let's just say annually starting next year, save. And so now we already did that, and now I just go through and do that for everything here. And again, and from there I'll continue creating other things. So I set the month it to start for 2025 into 2026, 27, 28. So it'll forecast from 2025 and do every other year. And again, if you're looking to raise capital or things like that, and think about what you saw here in this tool. If we come over here, we had a section in this particular tool for investments. So now you have the investment opportunities. You can see the type of, where the capital deployment is, your pitch deck. So ideal amount, $100,000. So it's building, so you can map this with that. So one thing I've learned is one tool doesn't solve it. One tool is not an everything to every business. You're going to need to leverage multiple tools. The question is, do these tools talk to each other? Okay, let's go back in. Let's go to the next thing. So this is the last tool I'm going to demonstrate, and then the other three are just going to be things that you'll just need to know. So we got social media management. AI-based social media management streamlines content creation, automating post schedules, tracking engagement metrics, and identifying trending topics for small businesses. Okay, so when it comes to an implementation strategy, it's all about creation first, then posting, and then tracking. And that's pretty much in all digital strategies. Can you please revisit UpMetrics? I'll come back to that. Again, I can't go too deep because I want to make sure I get through the whole process. You can make sure on the replay page you'll have the link to the tool, and I'll also see if I can find a video that walks through the tool itself. All I did on UpMetrics was just show you a small piece of it, which was the finance piece, okay? But there's AI throughout the entire product, Joseph, okay? So this is SEMrush. So this is what I call my Swiss Army knife of digital marketing. And we leverage a lot of the SEMrush tool if you're used to it. Now, you might be using a different social media tool, such as Hootsuite or Buzzsprout or any other tool. The question is, does your tool have the ability to leverage AI in it? And if it does, great. If it doesn't, find out if it's on their product plan to eventually add AI. And if it's not, you need to dump that tool and get a tool that has AI capabilities in it. You know, moving forward, from today forward, all the tools you invest in has to have an ability to have AI as a part of it. So I use SEMrush. Let's go over here to SEMrush. And I use it for SEO, advertising, social media, content marketing. So each section. So within the social media, we do all our posting on all of our social platforms from here. We track it. We get content insights. We get analytics. This is new. So they've recently, within 2 or 3 months ago, launched social content AI. Okay. And what happens is you add your business information in a description, and then it goes and immediately starts to create buckets of potential content it thinks would be relevant for your audience. And then you can also just create your own content. So let's say I like this one. I can click here, get more ideas. And if I like it, I can generate it and then build on it. But check this out. Let's say I just want to create something because I just did a blog article. So I'm going to click on create. So I can now create something from scratch. I can use a link. So if I just finished posting a blog article, I can pull that article in, which we're going to do. And this is new. So I can actually create visuals now. A static design, a video, an image, and a custom item. So we're going to do link based. So I'm going to come over here and I'm going to grab this link to this article. Okay, Command C. I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to drop that link in and I'm going to say, do I want it to be an intro to this article or a recap of this article? So let's just say it's a recap. Then I can choose the tone. Do I want it to be friendly, informative, humorous? Let's do humorous. I've never used humorous because even though I'm a kind of funny guy, I try to be serious. Then I can choose the type of post. Announcement, a poll. That means it'll make it into, hey, out of these 6 things in this article, which one is most relevant to you as a business owner? Okay, it'll turn into a question, a promo, a guide, a story, or behind the scene. Let's do story. And then it says use business description. So I check that because remember I have my business description integrated into this. And I'm going to say generate. So now it's going to generate the post for me. Okay. So it made it. Picture this. A business is a superhero completely unaware of its superpowers. Inner SWOT analysis. So it made it relevant to the article. Inner SWOT analysis, the sidekick you never knew you needed. Okay. Strengths. Whose rock star qualities, weaknesses, admitting them is the first step in leveling up. Opportunities, think rare Pokemon grabs them. And threats, we're seeing you, sneaky pitfalls, blah, 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 blah. All right, now I can do a design. I can do a video on it, or I can do a static design. So let's do a static design, and let's make it a square post on Instagram. So now it's going to take what it is and go, let me create a image for you to represent this post, because of course you should have some type of imagery on as much, if not all of your posts online to make them more engaging. So let's see what it comes up with. And I'll tell you right now, I still spend quite a bit of time creating content and leveraging AI. I'm just now always working with a really great set of assets. So it does save me time in some ways, but the level of quality has gone through the roof, especially when you know what you're trying to achieve at the end of the day. Okay. So let me do a pulse check. How we doing in here, ladies and gentlemen? We're all good. We're finding some things that we didn't know before, or, share some insights with me if you wouldn't mind. This is almost done. Actually, we do have one more tool I forgot I need to show you. So while we're waiting for that, let's come back over here because I got to make sure I let you get out of here in time. The next one is customer sentiment analysis. basically, sentiment is how people feel about something, how they feel about a product, how they feel about an industry, how they feel about a competitor. And usually you have to do focus groups, and it takes a lot of time and energy. Well, recently there's a lot of tools that are starting to come to the market that allow you to understand what people really, really feel around a topic, around a product, around a competitor. Okay, so you need to be able to collect data, aggregate customer feedback from multiple channels, like social media, email, reviews, and review sites. Use a sentiment analytics tool, which is utilizes AI-powered sentiment analysis. And then, of course, what are you going to do? What are the actionable insights? How do you translate what you learned in that sentiment analysis into things that you can use to improve your product, your service, and your customer service? So I'm glad you found this stuff great, everyone. I'm loving it. So here's another amazing tool that I stumbled upon quite a few months ago, and it blew my mind. It's called Idea Ape. Okay. And basically it helps you develop a brand that meets people's needs, but it's a market research tool. It allows you to do competitive sentiment, market sentiment, and USP sentiment, meaning the brand differentiator of you versus everyone else. So let's come back over here. So here we go. So it did some images. So look at that. I mean, not bad. These are some of the best AI generated images I've seen, because some of them usually get jumbled with the text and stuff, and it's pretty clear. So I can click here that I can send to Poster and get this thing ready to go out. So I'm going to save it because I actually like this, and I usually do a little editing to it. So I never push anything out without touching it. So the workflow for me is always human, AI, back to human, then you push it out. So I never just push it out just directly from the AI, because it does need some love. Okay, so let's go over here to Idea Ape. So I put in Citibank. So let's say I was competing with Citibank. I'm a new bank, so I dropped in Citibank as my competitor, and now it tells me, it creates what we call personas, different types of personas, but based on sentiment. So it talks about frustrated customers. So this tells me everything. And here's the thing. This is pulling data from Reddit. So Reddit is this massive place where people are going and sharing their opinion. In most cases, that's what we call subjective information. But in this case, it's actually perfect because people are being real about how they feel. So I can get, and then on top of that, it says, the frustrated customer persona encompasses Citibank clients who have experienced various issues with the bank's services, leading to a negative overall experience. The most prominent pain points. So I'm getting real pain points that I can integrate back into my brand, my product, to go, if you suffered with this pain point, which includes poor customer service, well, this is where we excel. You are now differentiating yourself from your competitor based on the fact that this is one of the most important pain points that most people that are frustrated with Citibank deal with. Okay, characterized by a long wait time and unhelpful representatives. So can you solve this problem with your product? And let's say you're an online business. Well, you don't have that because we're online, so you won't be doing long waits and unhelpful representatives. Okay, and then if you want to understand where it originated from, you see these blue numbers, they represent the actual conversations on Reddit where it sourced the information. So you can literally click through and see the actual conversation and communicate with the person. Hey, I saw what you wrote, and we understand over here over at we are the best bankers incorporated. We have solved that problem if you're still looking for a new bank. So it gives you not only the sentiment around how you can beat out your competitors, but then you can actually go and be a part of the conversation. Okay. So I did that for a number. So I did that for handmade soap. I recently spoke at a handmade soap conference. So I wanted to get sentiment around handmade soap as a product. So we have handmade soap enthusiasts, local handmade soap seekers, handmade soap business owners, and handmade soap as gifts. So again, if I'm looking at Black Friday and Cyber Monday coming up, this person with this particular persona would be interested to me. The persona is interested in handmade soap as a gift, but face several pain points related to the quality, safety, and the storage. So now you produce your landing page for your handmade soap, and you address these issues. Here are the things that are important to us over at Handmade Soap Inc. when it comes to gifting people with soap. We want to make sure the quality is high, and that we provide the best possible ingredients so you're safe. And this thing can store up to 2 years in room temperature. So you see how you can integrate these things into your thing when you know what people are struggling with and around a particular topic. Here's one more I'll share with you. This is a restaurant. So I said, let's look at the restaurant industry, and let's look at Mexican restaurants in the New Jersey area. So now we've got authentic Mexican food seekers. Authentic Mexican food seekers in New Jersey face significant challenges in finding genuine, high-quality Mexican cuisine that meets their expectations. So you can see immediately, you can already start to figure out, how do I use this to say that that's what we are? You know, when they're clearly saying they're not finding it here in the New Jersey area. Okay? So that's that. Let's keep going. We got 3 more. We got email marketing. So we're not going to do any more dives into tools. We're going to get through the remaining part of this here. So use AI-based email marketing to craft personalized and optimized email campaigns, enhance engagement and conversion rates for small businesses. You know, so it'll help you write, personalize, and optimize. So we use MailChimp. So what tools are you leveraging to get the job done, whether it's Active Campaign or Constant Contact or any of the great tools out there? So, you know, see what your tool has available when it comes to AI, so you can integrate that to get things done faster and more on brand. Okay. So the next one is dynamic pricing. This is a new one. Adjust pricing dynamically based on real-time demands and competition to maximize revenue and market position. Now, I spoke to one of the tools, and I asked them, you know, because it's easy to do sometimes for product-based and e-commerce, because they actually have their prices on the page, you know, but service-based businesses may not. But they go, you know, in most cases, the service-based business has to have their prices on for them to be registered and recognized by the tool, so you can see where you fit with that. So again, you're collecting data, data collection, there's algorithm development, and there's monitoring and adjustments. But again, if you're leveraging a tool, the tool will do that for you. And here is a list of tools to the right that all have, some of them have AI components, some of them don't. You'll have to try them out to see. PriceSync definitely has AI capabilities to it. And the pricing ranges between $29 a month up to, I think I saw a couple that are a few $1,000s that you have to buy for the year. So again, price and price availability and affordability. Okay, so we'll have this on the replay page as the blog. And then the last one is inventory management. If you happen to have inventory, you know, maybe your e-commerce, you know, online or offline. So you have an AI-based inventory management optimization, optimizes stock levels and reduces waste by leveraging predictive analytics to balance supply and demand effectively. You know, so it can do demand forecasting for you. So again, it's leveraging AI to now determine, you know, are we going to run out of stuff? Do we need to order stuff? You know, if it had enough time, meaning that you're using it for over a year and you're a seasonal business, it could remind you that you need to start stocking up on something because, you know, we're about to go into this specific holiday, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, Christmas, Kwanzaa, you name it, whatever it is. You know, automated reordering. Maybe it's set up to do reordering when it hits a certain point. A trigger happens and you sold a certain amount, so you're not out. Okay. Real-time tracking. Implement real-time inventory tracking to monitor stock levels continuously and adjust orders dynamically based on current sales trends. So yeah, I'm glad you're finding this one great, Yusuf. Okay. And so here's a list. Oops. Yep. Oh, I forgot to change this here. But here, oops, this is not right here to the right, but here to the left are a list of of AI-based inventory management tools: School Vault, Zoho Inventory, QuickBooks Commerce, Fishbowl, Deer Inventory, Infor Warehouse Management System, Atera, NetSuite, Sin7, and Freshworks. And if you click on the link, I believe it actually gives you the pricing for each of the tools. So again, you'll get all of this in the replay. This link will go out within the next 24 hours. You'll get it through, if you came in through Eventbrite, you'll get it in the Eventbrite email. Okay? And so what are our next steps and recap? So we went through 10 different tools. We talked about how AI can support you. We looked at the 10 AI applications. We looked at real world examples and implementation strategies. And so the next steps is to identify, okay? Hold up for a second. Let me get my act together. Identify the needs that you have, and then that will help you determine what AI applications would be the best tools for you. Again, I went through 10. You don't need all 10. Where are you in your business? And then you need to research the tools, explore and evaluate the different tools in the industry. You can use the ones I recommended, but it's always good to because each tool, even though it might be similar, there's probably some differences. And if you have very specific needs, you're going to want to make sure those needs are met. And then you can create a pilot program or test the tools. Most of these tools have a free trial, so give it a chance. Try 2-3 variations of the tool, and whichever one seems to be the best one, then you can dump the others and you keep that tool. So you could do a slow adoption strategy. Again, start with one tool. If you're not using any tools at all, what is the most pressing problem you have as a business, and where should you start to leverage AI to help you with that problem? If you have historical data and you know that you're struggling with closing people, then it might be about, especially if it's online, adding a chatbot, on pages that are highly trafficked to help you with the conversion process without you having to, quote unquote, hire another person. Okay? Train your staff. Learn the tool, whether you have to learn it or somebody on your team has to learn it. Learn the tool to its fullest so you can get the most out of it, especially if you're paying for it. And then monitor and iterate. This is not a set it and forget it. Look at that tool. My tools stay open. I'm constantly monitoring my numbers. I'm constantly looking at my tools, seeing who's in my pipeline, who is, what brands have been visiting my site, putting them in my tools and understanding what their social medias look like. Who are they talking to? Is their client base my client base? Is there an opportunity for a partnership? These are things that I want to know on a regular basis. Okay. And then finally, we teach this. So again, we couldn't go deep into everything. We're already 7 minutes over. I'm trying to end this with the quickness, but we have a lifetime access on our community. So if anybody is interested in joining our community, it's usually monthly or yearly. And between now and the end of the year, we're doing a one-time cost of $2.99, and you can actually be a member of our community and never pay again. And we do deep dives on every single tool that I showed you, so you get the full insights on how to leverage the tool, so it's not just us telling you need to do it, but we're helping you walk through the process of getting the work done and seeing the growth in your business. So if you're interested, you can go to movingforwardsmallbusiness.com/membership level, and I'll drop the URL in the chat for anybody, and I'll have it on the replay as well. So feel free to check it out. If you have questions, you see that little chat bot in the corner, well, you can reach out and talk to me directly. Okay. So with that being said, see if we have any final questions. I'll check the chat here for any questions we may have. And of course, please feel free to connect with me. LinkedIn is my favorite platform for being connected, but you can also, of course, use all the other platforms we're on: Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, TikTok. We're there, but where we're most active is on LinkedIn. So I know we're a bit over. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to drop them in the chat. Joseph, you're welcome. Selena, you're welcome. Thank you for the useful information. Appreciate the effort. Maybe it's too direct, but would you be very thankful? Yep. You can definitely connect with me on LinkedIn. And yeah, I appreciate you all. And I hope to see you next week. If you came through Eventbrite, next week we're going deep in SWOT analysis. So if you want to know about SWOT analysis, you should definitely register for that. With that being said, again, I say a lot of thank you, and we'll see you very soon. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.